In the last lecture, we were looking into data transfer instructions, and we were at the end of the lecture, we were at the instructions push and pop instructions, right? So just to summarize, and then we will go ahead. So push, direct addressing mode, and this direct push is storing the data on stack. So the stack is the destination, and the programmer has to give the source address, right? And the only one addressing mode possible is direct addressing mode. So push, and whatever number you is the address of source memory location. So the data from this source memory location is transferred onto stack. And always remember, while storing the data on stack, stack pointer first increments and then the data is stored. Okay. And then we looked into pop. Pop is reading the data from stack. So the source is known. Read the data from stack. So the source is the stack memory. And then in the instruction, you give the destination address. Read from stack and store where. So in the pop instruction, you mention the destination address. Okay, so pop 1C hex, it means data from stack memory will be read and stored at 1C hex. Right? While reading, the data is read first. Wherever the stack is pointing, the data is read from that stack memory, and then the stack pointer decrements. See here, first the data is read and then the decrement. In push, you mention the source address, and in pop, you mention the destination address. Fine, students. And now we will go for the last two instructions left in data transfer is exchange, XCH, and another one is XCHD. Okay. So exchange instruction is exchanging the data bytes. Up till now, see, whatever instructions we saw, take the data from the source, store it in destination. Always we had a source operand somewhere and we had destination somewhere else. So take it from the source, store it in destination. Whereas exchange is take from the source, put it in destination, take from the destination, store it back. So exchange is two-way data transfer, right? See the arrow, it is on both bidirectional. It is a two-way data transfer. Whereas up till now, whatever instructions we saw, it was unidirectional. Pick from the source, store it in destination. Whereas the last two instructions are two-way data transfer from one location to second location and from second location to the first location. So see how is the format? XCH, this is a byte exchange, mean 8-bit data from one place to another and from another place to the first one. Right? XCH, it is a byte data transfer instruction. And see how is the format? XCH, A comma source. It means the one of the operand is always accumulator. Mean the exchange will always be with respect to accumulator register. Whereas the other number can be at 3 different places. So look at the table down. The instruction can be exchange A comma Rn. It is the exchange between registers R0 to R7 with accumulator. Second instruction is XCH A comma direct and XCH A comma @RI. It means here is the exchange. The last two instructions, exchange is between memory and accumulator. In one case, it is direct address mentioned in the instruction, and in the third case, it is memory. The data is available by a pointer RI. Correct? So always remember, one of the data byte to be exchanged is in A register, accumulator. And the second data byte can be from a register or can be from memory location. Okay, so see how is the execution? Exchange is data from source is copied in accumulator as well as data from accumulator is copied to the source back. So it is exchange, byte exchange instruction. Okay, so let us see one of the example. So XCH A comma Rn. So I write a specific example. XCH A comma R5. That is data from R5 and data from accumulator are exchanged in between them. So before execution, BE indicates before execution. Let us assume accumulator is having 77 hex data. R5 register is having 22 hex data. while execution, what happens? R5 data in accumulator and accumulator data in R5. So see AE, after execution, what will you find? Accumulator is stored with 22. That's the data from R5. And R5 is stored with 77. That's the data of accumulator. Okay, so both the source as well as the accumulator is changing. Up till now, all data transfer, only the destination was getting changed. Now here the source is changed as well as accumulator is the destination, which also changes. Okay, exchange instruction. So this is 8-bit exchange. So let us see it in details. Fine. XCH A comma, I have taken an example of XCH A comma direct. So here I have mentioned XCH A comma, the address of the memory location. So this is the exchange between direct memory and accumulator. So data from this memory address is exchanged with the data from accumulator. Okay, it is a 2-byte instruction, right? There is one number here, mean 2-byte instruction. So look into the before execution column, and it is internal RAM, right? Exchange is an internal RAM data transfer instruction. So look into, I have written the instruction at 100 and 101, 100 and 1001 memory location. The instruction is C5 hex is the opcode and 6D is the direct address. So that instruction is, there is an exchange, byte exchange between accumulator and 6D hex. So microcontroller automatically refers the RAM location 6D hex. See, that's an address. And data from that direct address is exchanged with accumulator. See the red color arrow, it is bidirectional. Mean accumulator data will come in this memory and memory data will be loaded in accumulator. So see, after execution you will find 66 hex is in the memory location mentioned in the instruction. What did I give in the instruction? Memory address 6D. There is the data exchange happening. Right, so 66 accumulator data came in memory and memory data 44 came in accumulator. So that is an exchange instruction. Okay, byte exchange. And next, exchange A comma @R0, that is indirect addressing mode. It means data present in memory pointed by R0 is exchanged with accumulator. So see, it is a 1-byte instruction. So before execution table, there's only 1 byte, 100 hex, that's an address, and there is the instruction written C6 hex. Okay, so microcontroller will immediately understand C6 mean it's an exchange, byte exchange. With whom to exchange? Memory and accumulator. Who is having the memory address? It is R0. Since we have mentioned @R0. So microcontroller will automatically refer R0. It will understand R0 is holding one RAM address. In this example, it is 30 hex. Go to 30 hex and exchange the data between accumulator. Okay, so see 30 hex, I have shown an arrow. So how do we say? Data pointed by R0. So that is how you should imagine, right? R0 is pointing to some memory. So data pointed by R0 is picked up and exchanged with accumulator. Okay, students. So whenever I say pointer, this is how you should imagine that this is how it is working. Okay. After execution, you will find accumulator data was 66, has been stored in the memory pointed by R0, and memory data was 55, is exchanged with accumulator. So accumulator will show 55, memory will show 66. So this is an exchange instruction, right? So see where you might use this. Many of the arithmetic operations, the result is stored in accumulator, and accumulator is almost used in majority of the instructions. So before going to execute next instruction, whatever result in accumulator is, store it in memory, save the result, and then use accumulator. So in that case, you can use exchange. I am just saying one of the application. There are many. When we will do programming, we will understand, right? But then result in accumulator, this is the way I can store it in memory. Okay, there is move also. I can write MOV 0x30, A. This is also for storing. Okay. So that was byte exchange. Then we will go for nibble exchange. That is only 4 bits are exchanged. So the instruction is XCHD A comma @RI. Correct? This is the only way to write XCHD instruction. Exchange only the lower nibble. Correct? And the exchange is between memory and accumulator, and the memory is a pointer. RI will be pointer to that memory. There is no other format available. Correct? Byte exchange, see there are 3 options: A comma RN, A comma direct, A comma @RI. But nibble exchange, there is only the last option present, A comma @RI. Correct? So XCHD A comma @RI. That is the lower nibble, right, pointed by RI is exchanged with the lower nibble in accumulator. See, we say it is an 8-bit data transfer. Out of that, only 4 bits transfer, right? The lower nibble gets exchanged, whereas the upper nibble does not change. Okay, so specific example has been written: XCHD A comma @R0. The lower nibble pointed by R0. Hence, it is written only lower 4 bits C. 0, 1, 2, 3. The lower 4 bits. So the lower nibble pointed by R0 is exchanged with, see the arrow is bidirectional, is exchanged with the lower nibble of accumulator. So the accumulator only lower 4 bits are exchanged with the data in the memory, lower 4 bits. Okay. So R0 is a pointer. So inner R0, inner bracket of R0 is showing an address. So 30 hex is an address which is available in R0, and data from this address is picked up and exchanged. Right? So the same example is mentioned here. XCHD A comma R0. This is a 1 byte instruction. So see, before execution, 1 byte is written in the ROM memory. So D6 hex is that 1 byte opcode. So D6 hex on decoding microcontroller understands only 4 bits are to be exchanged, lower 4 bits. Who is showing the lower 4 bits? It is the lower 4 bits are between memory and accumulator, and that is shown by R0. R0 is the pointer. R0 is holding RAM address. Go to that address, pick the data and exchange between accumulator. So this address is this data is pointed by R0. So data pointed by R0 is exchanged with the data from accumulator. So after execution, what will you find? Only the lower number changes. See here. Accumulator becomes 65 and memory becomes 56. Earlier the memory was 55. So the upper nibble, upper 4 bits do not change. Only the lower 4 bits get exchanged. Is that okay, students? Right? That is exchange the nibble. XCHD. Fine. Now see where you might use this instruction. Majority of the times whenever you are dealing with BCD numbers, BCD is binary coded decimal. Okay, a decimal number is written in a 4-bit binary and the BCD numbers are 0 to 9. So 8 will be written as 1000, a decimal number represented in 4-bit binary. So whenever you are dealing with BCD numbers, and in that you have a category packed BCD, unpacked BCD. Mean if I say a 2-digit BCD number 76, 7 is 1 digit, 6 is another digit. So 76 is a 2-digit BCD number. So this 76 is called as packed BCD. Right? And when do you say unpacked BCD? The same number is written as 07 as 1 digit and 06 as a 2nd digit. This is called unpacked BCD. Okay, so that 76 is written as 0706, right? And again, where it is used, see, whenever I want to display a character or anything on LCD display, suppose I want to display HELLO, or say I want to display number 76. This 76 I should display on LCD, correct? Then I cannot send the number directly on the LCD data pins. Mean I cannot write 76 in binary and send it on LCD. I have to convert that into ASCII code, right? And then I should send it. Mean 76, I should separate the digit 6, I should separate digit 7, right? So 76 should be first separated out, unpacked, and then I should write, if I want to display 6, ASCII code of 6 is 36. So I should be sending 36 hex on the LCD data pins. Okay, then and then only I will see character or the letter 6 on the display. If I want to display 7, I should send 37. Are you all getting me, students? It means this is where I will be working on nibbles, 4-bit data. 7, 6, I'll be working only on 6. 7, I'll be working only on 7. So this is where we have nibble operations. And there I need this XCHD instruction. Okay, when we take an example, you will understand it more better. So always remember, unpacked and packed BCD, and for ASCII coding, I will need this. Okay, 4-bit exchange instruction. Okay, fine. So that is where we complete, students, data transfer instructions. Okay, we will go for the next arithmetic instructions. Just to revise, data transfer, what did we see? MOV, MOVX, MOVC. Okay, then we saw push and pop instructions, and then we saw XCH and XCHD instructions. Now we will go for arithmetic instructions. Now arithmetic instructions, we have ADD, next ADDC, add with carry, SUBB, subtract with borrow. There is no pure subtract instruction. We compulsory have subtract with borrow. Okay, we will see how it works. Then we have increment, 8-bit as well as 16-bit increment. Then we have decrement. It's only 8-bit. There is no 16-bit decrement. Then we have multiply, MUL, multiplication, division, DIV, and decimal adjust accumulator, DAA. This is related to BCD addition, right? So add with carry, subtract with borrow, increment, decrement, multiply, divide, and decimal adjust accumulator. Okay, so we'll see one by one. Start with ADD. Addition instruction. How is the format? ADD is a mnemonic. Destination comma source. So the data from source is added with destination and stored back in destination. Fine. The same is the format for ADDC. ADDC, destination comma source. The data from source is added with destination along with the carry bit, and the result is stored back in destination. Now this, see here, source and destination are 8-bit numbers, whereas the carry is a 1-bit number. It is a flag. Do you remember, students? Carry is a flag bit, one of the flag from PSW register. So this is 1 bit. This 1 bit gets added with the 2 8-bit numbers, and it gets added in the LSB, digit 0. This carry gets added in digit 0, right? Next, SUBB. The format is SUBB, destination comma source. So destination minus source minus the carry bit. Okay, so be careful with this. It is destination minus source, not the source minus destination. Right? Mean I want to say, suppose there are two numbers, 10 and 6. Okay, when you do addition, 10 plus 6, the answer is 16. Or you do 6 plus 10, the answer is 16. The order in which you add the numbers does not affect the result, but the order you subtract matters a lot. 10 minus 6, you will get the answer as 4. Correct? But you do 6 minus 10, the answer will be minus 4. So the subtraction, from whom are you subtracting, matters a lot. Okay, so always remember, it is destination minus source minus the carry bit. The carry acts as a borrow during subtraction. So it is destination minus source minus the borrow, and the result is stored in destination. So these are the formats. Fine. Now, who is the destination? Who is the source? Look at the table at the left hand side. The destination is always accumulator. Correct. The one of the data is in accumulator as well as the destination is accumulator. Whereas where can be the second data? Mean where can be the source? Hash data mean the second number you can give it in the instruction, or the second number you can store it in register Rn R0 to R7, or the second number can be in memory. Mention the address here direct, or make that as a pointer. Right? So for all these three, ADD, ADDC, SUBB, the destination is always accumulator and the source is hash data, Rn, direct address or indirect address, pointer register. It's applicable for all the three instructions, ADD, ADDC, SUBB. And all the flags are affected. Arithmetic flags, carry, auxiliary carry, overflow, parity. These are the four flags and all of them are affected by the arithmetic instruction ADD, ADDC, SUBB. Whereas data transfer, none of the flag was getting affected. Right? Addressing mode, we have 5 addressing mode. Out of that, 4 addressing modes are possible. Okay, students, and see about register B, in place of Rn, I can also use B register. Please remember, in place of Rn, R0 to R7 as well as B register is possible. Fine. So we will see ADD in detail, whereas ADDC SUBB is applicable. Okay. So we'll take a quick look on ADDC, but we will look detail about ADD. Okay. So let us start with the first ADD instruction. We will see all these 4 examples: ADD A comma hash data, ADD A comma Rn, ADD A comma direct, and ADD A comma @RI. So we start with first ADD A comma hash data. This is a general format. How many byte the instruction is? 2 byte. And how many machine cycle? 1 machine cycle. Right? If you all remember the machine cycles, I have told if accumulator is involved in the instruction, it's always 1 machine cycle. Right? If the destination is memory address, or if it is 16-bit operation, or if it is a program branching instruction, then and then only 2 machine cycle. Multiply, divide 4, whereas all the rest 1 machine cycle instruction. And there is one number, hence 2 byte. Okay, exact example, ADD A comma hash 14. Now see here in the example, I have written hash 14, mean that's a data. And I didn't write 0x, mean I have entered one decimal number. 14 is taken as a decimal by the microcontroller, converts it into hex, and then operates on it. Okay, so see the execution, semicolon, the execution is written ahead. 14 is a decimal number, it is converted into hex and taken it as E. 0x0E is the data now. So I didn't mention any base, I didn't write 0x. Microcontroller assumes as a decimal number, converts it into hexadecimal, mean internally binary, operates on binary and puts the result back in binary. So 0E hex data is added with the data in accumulator and the result is stored back in accumulator. Accumulator is the destination. Okay, see I have given some numbers here. Before execution, let me say accumulator was having 56 hex data. In the instruction, I have put the second data, E. So 56 hex is added with E hex and the result is stored back in accumulator. 56 plus E, the answer is 64. Right? So accumulator will show 6, 0, 1, 1, 0, 4, 0, 1, 0, 0. And all the flags are affected. Carry, auxiliary, overflow, parity. So let us see how are these flags getting affected. Why did this become 0? Why did AC become 1? So see that box. See the box 1. That addition is shown. What is accumulator having? Accumulator is having 5, 6 hex. So see here 5, 0, 1, 0, 1, 5, 6, 0, 1, 1, 0. And this is the data 0E. So 0, E is 14, 1, 1, 1, 0. So 56, 5, 6 plus 0 is getting added. And see the blue color is showing the carry outs. So the first bit there is no carry. So hence it is shown 0. So first bit is 0 plus 0, 0. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 0 and a carry. Third addition is 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. 1 and a carry. Next addition is 1 plus 0 plus 1 is 2. So 0 and a carry. So see there is a auxiliary carry generated. Carry is coming from lower nibble to the upper nibble. So that auxiliary carry flag is set. So see AC is equal to 1. Okay. Next. Now adding the fifth bit. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 0 and a carry. It should have been, I should have shown a carry here. Right. And then that's 1. 1 plus 0 plus 0, that's 1. Right. Next, that's 1. And from the last bit, that's 0. So there is no carry from the 7th bit, the last bit. Hence, the carry flag is 0. CY is 0. From the last addition, the carry, there was no C out, carry out. So carry flag is cleared. Okay. Now see whether the overflow flag is set or not. This was 0. The last bit was 0. And the answer bit is also 0. Mean the last bit did not change. Mean there is no overflow. Correct. What were you saying? This was a positive number. This was a positive number and the answer is also positive. Everything is fine. When do we say overflow? Adding two positive number, the answer is negative. Mean the last two bits were 0, 0 and the answer was showing the last bit as 1. Wrong. Overflow. Adding two positive number, the answer is negative. Overflow. Or adding two negative numbers, the answer is positive. Overflow. If the answer is same as the numbers, mean there is no overflow. Okay. Opposite sign will also never have an overflow. Mean one is positive, other is negative. There will never be an overflow. Okay. So hence overflow flag is cleared. And look at the parity. See the 8-bit answer. How many ones? First, second, third. There are 3 ones, 3 logic ones in the answer. Mean odd parity. Mean the parity flag is set. Okay, students. So microcontroller will take 56, add with the data you have given, E hex. It will do the addition in binary and automatically set and clear the flags. There was an auxiliary carry. There was no carry from the 7th bit. There was no overflow and the parity is odd. Right? So that was immediate addressing mode instruction. Right? So ADD is going to affect the flags. That's how the flags are affected. Okay. Next example. ADD A, RN. Right? Register addressing mode. 1 byte instruction, 1 machine cycle. See, accumulator is involved, mean 1 machine cycle and 1 byte instruction. Example is ADD A, R6. So the data from R6 is added with accumulator, stored back in accumulator. So in order the addition should happen, one of the operand should be in accumulator and the second operand should be in R6. Mean before writing this instruction, I should be careful. That number should be stored in R6. Okay, the number that you're going to add. And by default, accumulator should have the other number. That has to be compulsory done. Okay, see the blue color. The data should be stored in R6 first. And then only this addition will be possible. Or else, random number from R6 will be added with accumulator. And the result will be stored in accumulator. We don't want that to happen. So whenever you are writing something like this, you should take care that there is a correct number in R6, there is a correct number in accumulator. Okay, and see the same example is taken. There is one number in accumulator 56 hex And that 14, I have stored it in R6, MOV R6, hash 0E, 0x0E. Now I have entered the data in hexadecimal. Okay, earlier I had entered the data in decimal, hash 14. Now I have taken hash 0x0E. 14 it's the same data, right? So R6 is having 14, gets added with 56, and the result is stored in accumulator. It is the same example, 64 hex. There is no carry, there is auxiliary, there is no overflow, and the parity is odd. Okay, register addressing mode. Next, as I said, R6, Rn can be B also. ADD A comma B is also possible. Okay. Next, direct addressing mode. ADD A comma direct. Mean I should mention the memory address. So see that example, ADD A comma 40 hex. That's an address. Data from that address is picked up, added with the data in accumulator, stored back in accumulator. 2-byte instruction because there's a number, one number in the instruction, so 2 bytes and 1 machine cycle. So before execution, let me assume accumulator was having F9 and the memory data was E. Where was this E? 14. 14 is stored in memory. At what address? 40 hex. Okay. So data from accumulator, I have just taken another example so that the flags will change. Okay. So now accumulator data is F9 hex. See how do you enter the data? 0F9. 0x hexadecimal and 0F9 plus 0E. What is the answer? 7. Right. Now you will say F9 plus E. How can the answer be 7? We will see in the example. So accumulator will show 0, 7. 004 bits, 0111. Okay, then let us see the example. So this is accumulator is having F. F means 15, 1111. That is F. 9, 1001. So this number is F9. What is there at this address? 40 hex is an address. What data is there at address? 0E. That's the data. So 0E is added with F9. So see the addition. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 1, 1. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 0 and a carry. Carry is coming from lower nibble to upper nibble. So auxiliary carry will set. AC is 1. Okay. Now go for the 5th bit addition. 1 plus 1 plus 0 is 2. 0 and a carry. 1 plus 1 is 2. 0 and a carry. Again 1 plus 1 is 2. 0 and a carry. The last addition is again 1 plus 1, 2. 0 and a carry. Correct. Now from the 7th bit, I got a carry. See the green one. Hence the carry flag is set. See the green color. CY is equal to 1. In this addition, the 7th bit, the last bit, there was a carry out. Hence the carry flag is set. Correct. Mean what is the overall answer? The overall answer is 107 hex. Correct. F9 plus E, the addition is 107 hex. Out of that, 07 will be available in accumulator and this 1, which is a part of the answer, will be available in the carry flag. So the addition is 107 hex. The total answer is 107 hex. Okay. And see, one number is positive, the other number is negative, mean there is no overflow. Overflow happens when you are adding 2 positive numbers or you are adding 2 negative numbers. Here one number is positive, other number is negative, there will never be an overflow. Overflow will be 0. And see the parity. While calculating the parity, you only consider the 8-bit answer, that is 07. There are first, second, third, 3 logic ones, mean odd parity. Parity flag is set. So that was ADD A comma direct. Data from memory. The address is mentioned in the instruction, added with accumulator, stored back in accumulator. So that is where you get a carry. Fine, students. And now see the flags will be set depending on lower nibble to upper nibble carry, auxiliary set. 7th bit there is carry flag is set. Overflow, that's not an overflow, right? All the flags will be set, but it is the programmer to decide whether you should consider auxiliary carry. Yes, if you are doing BCD arithmetic. If you are doing binary arithmetic, ignore the auxiliary carry. Binary addition, I don't need auxiliary carry. Okay. Am I adding signed numbers, one positive, one negative? Then and then only consider overflow. If it is unsigned, ignore the overflow. Microcontroller will give those carry status, flag status depending on the addition. But the programmer has to decide should flag be considered or not. Okay. Addition is signed as well as unsigned. If it is signed, then and then only consider the overflow flag. If it is BCD, consider the auxiliary. If it is unsigned, then the flags will be carry and parity. Okay. And a microcontroller performs all. It performs signed addition as well as unsigned addition. Fine. And whenever microcontroller is dealing with signed number, positive number, negative number, the representation is always in 2's complement format. The negative number is always represented in 2's complement. See, we have 1's complement format, 2's complement format, signed magnitude. There are 3 varieties to represent a negative number. But every microprocessor, every microcontroller uses 2's complement representation for a negative number. Remember this. Okay, let us go for the next. Indirect addressing mode, ADDA, @RI. RI means either R0 or R1. So example is ADDA, @R0. So see the execution, double brackets. Data pointed by R0 is picked up, added with accumulator, data from accumulator, stored back in accumulator. 1 byte instruction, 1 machine cycle. Okay, because accumulator is involved. So 1 machine cycle. Right? The same example I have carried out. Before execution, accumulator was F9. Now, where is this 14? The number 14, that is E. Where is this E? The E is in memory and address of that memory is in R0. So where is this E? This E is pointed by R0. So that was related to ADD. So we saw all the 4 addressing modes. Okay, students. ADDA, hash data, ADDA, RN, ADDA, direct, ADDA, @RI. Okay. Now on the parallel basis, we have ADDC. All the 4 formats available. So ADDC, hash data. I can write an example. Same example. ADDC, hash 14. Right, 14 is converted into hex E. The data E is added with the data in accumulator along with the carry, that 1 bit carry, and the result is stored back in accumulator. Okay. Second example, ADDC, RN. I write an example, ADDC, R6. Data from R6 is added with accumulator with the carry status. Whatever is the status, carry can be 0, the 1 bit can be 0 or the 1 bit can be 1. Anything in that carry bit gets added. So 0 can be added or 1 can be added. Okay. Next, ADDC, direct. Example is ADDC, 40 hex. Data present at this 40 hex address is picked up, added with accumulator along with the carry bit, and the result is stored in accumulator. Okay. Last example, ADDC, @RI. Data pointed by this memory location is added with accumulator along with the carry bit and stored in accumulator. Correct? And see your students, whenever in this example, whenever you're writing @R0, you should clarify what is in R0. R0 should have the correct address. Right? So before writing ADDA, @R0, you should have stored the correct address number in R0 register. See the blue one. You should have written MOV R0, hash 40 hex. It means this number will be stored in R0. And what is that number? It's an address of memory location. What is that 40? It's the address of that memory location. Okay, so before writing this, be sure R0 is having the correct memory address. And how to store in the address? Hash and the address number. Okay, so we will see one example of ADDC. Okay, so let me see ADDC A comma @RI. So exact example ADDC A comma @R0. Mean the data pointed by R0 is added with accumulator along with the carry bit, and the result is stored back in accumulator. 1 byte, 1 machine cycle. Okay, ADDC A, one is register, other is a pointer register. So 1 byte. Accumulator is involved, 1 machine cycle. So I have taken the same example. Accumulator is F9, but I have said what is the status of carry before executing ADDC. So before this instruction, carry was showing 0. Then addition happens. So F9 plus 14 plus that 0 bit. So see in that rectangular box, accumulator is having F9. The data is 0E pointed by R0 and the carry bit 0. So the carry is added in the LSB. See here students, this is 1 bit and that 1 bit gets added in the LSB, lower digit. So the addition is 1 plus 0 plus 0. The answer is 1. Hope you all are getting me. I just wanted to show that this carry is number and that is getting added in the LSB. And what is the answer? Since carry was 0, the answer will be okay. And after the addition is over, the carry will be set. Why? Because this carry was set because of this addition. Hope you all are getting me, students. After this addition, the carry flag will be set. But during addition, this carry is prior to ADD instruction. Before executing ADD instruction is the carry status which gets added. And the carry might change after addition. Hope you all are getting me. It's the same example F9. Now that was regarding add with carry. The carry bit gets added. Now we will see subtract with borrow. See students, we do not have a normal subtraction SUB. We compulsory have subtract with borrow. Right? And the 4 addressing modes SUBB A hash data. So I have written an example SUBB A comma hash 14. It means A minus 14 minus the carry flag. The carry acts as a borrow here. So A minus 14 minus the carry flag. And the result is stored in accumulator. Next, SUBB A comma RN. Example is SUBB A comma R6. So A minus the data from A minus the data from R6 minus the carry bit. And the result is stored back. So make sure you have the number in R6, MOV R6 comma hash 14 before using the instruction. Okay. The next, SUBB A comma 40 hex mean the data from A minus the data from 40 hex memory location minus the carry bit and store back in A. Right? The last example, SUBB A comma @RI, SUBB A comma @R0 mean the data from A is subtracted with the data pointed by R0 along with the carry bit, and the result is stored back in accumulator. Okay. Now, if you all do not want this carry, make sure you clear the carry and then write SUBB. Is that okay? I don't want that borrow to be subtracted. Then what do you do is clear the borrow and then write SUBB. Fine, students. And see, when do you need add with carry? Whenever you are adding or subtracting 2 numbers and the size of the 2 numbers is more than 8 bit. Okay, mean you are adding a 16-bit number I need ADDC. When you are adding a 32-bit number, I need ADDC or subtract with borrow. But if you're only performing 8-bit addition, 8-bit subtraction, I don't need the carry and the borrow. Okay, I will take this subtraction in the next lecture.